The room had a cot with sheets, a military-style blanket, and a pillow. There was a toilet as well, though no sink. Underneath the cot I found a modern thermos which had water in it. The window was a little high to see out of. It was horizontal and had 2 bars and was glazed. The light above my door suddenly dimmed, which was not unwelcome. Well, time for some rest, I said to myself out loud. I missed the bunny already. I went over to the toilet and gave it a flush. The water barely trickled out, not enough to read its color. I lay on the cot, not entirely uncomfortable. I removed my shoes, my socks, laid them underneath. My hand grazed the thermos. I grabbed it and had a drink, laid back down, hands beneath head. Relax, don't do it when you want to. Give up, one voice said. Yes, give up, said the second. The third voice appeared ganged up on. What do you want to say? I asked. Focus, it said. But that wasn't it. Find the pain. Let it tell the story. Everything is passage. Nothing is destination. Seemingly it had a lot to say. The other 2 voices listened. What do you want from us? They said. We gave up. So should you. I closed my eyes, and suddenly I saw thin white flames. Then, just like that, I was asleep. In my dream, I was back where it all started, only I was at the edge of the dark woods. Bunny was at my foot, but when I went to touch her, she ran into the woods at a furious pace.
Bunny! Bunny!
I yelled. In my dream, I saw the moment replayed, a loop of the bunny running away from me. Was it scared or angry or joyful? It did not look scared. I looked to my left and Baba was there. She was sitting on a porch for her house. Behind it, it seemed to be burned down. Smoke was still rising to the sky where there was a full moon. It was Baba and not Baba. It was also the red umbrella lady. I could not see their face clearly. She was asking for me to come close. Bunny would find me, they said to me, or I said to myself. I was there below her, not scared but not pleased. I could not look them in the eye, so I concentrated on the smoke rising to the moon. The crows were near. They are not near, they said. They are still very far away. Yes, but the color of the water on the moon is changing. This is a good sign, I said. They laughed. Silly boy, where did you get such a silly idea? I felt shame. My neck throbbed. I felt at my wound. I mustered the courage to look them in the eye, but they drew a red umbrella. It hid their face. What was it a symbol for? No, here in the dream it was only an umbrella. Get that out of the way, I said, furious. Then it began to rain, and I awoke to its sound outside my window. Simon Drake entered my room. I startled a little unintentionally, still in my dream state. Hey, he said. I struggled a bit with my surroundings. Was that the moon behind my window? For the first time in a long time, I hungered to get back to sleep.
Get some rest?
I did not respond. I looked out again and the moon was gone, rain trickling down the window. I avoided his gaze. I was a little afraid of myself at the moment.
So, anyway, fair is fair. I will deliver the message if you tell me what you said you'd tell me about.
I will hold you to that, Mr. Drake.
Yeah, well, I know it may not mean much to you at this point, but you have my word.
I got the thermos out and took another drink of water. I tried to look inside the thermos at the color of the water, but I could not see. Agatha, I began, was a powerful vampire, born long before me and Harry. What you do not know is that she is the link between Harry and me, because she was the vampire who bit both of us only centuries apart. Only, when I knew her, she was a positive vampire, a good vampire. By the time she reached Harry's time, she had perhaps become something quite other, corrupted by something which I cannot say I know of. Harry would know more of that, perhaps, but he would not speak of it to me. She was also a potion maker. She made resins, other things which were beneficial to us vampires, to humans also.
How did she die?
I looked out the window again. What did it matter what I said? Still, I was trying to listen to the voices inside me for guidance. She died trying to rescue Harry from the flames of a cathedral, only Harry wasn't there at all. That's the story anyway. I was not there. Some say that she was tricked, others say she killed herself when she realized how far she'd come from her original nature. All this is not for me to say.
Interesting. Why were you, so upset when I asked her about it?
Because I loved her, Mr. Drake. And I resented the accusations that tried to make her into something bad. Some will try to tell you this if they can. I am not so naive that I do not understand why your Red Umbrella Society would come into existence. I understand the world needs balance, and sometimes there are difficult decisions to be made, difficult judgment calls to be made about difficult people. Have I said enough? Simon Drake nodded.
Okay. Thank you. I will pass on your message. You won't be here much longer, by the way. Someone is on their way.
He paused at the door.
By the way, didn't you paint a portrait of Agatha? It's funny, she looks a lot like you. Don't you think?
I froze. Why was my art always getting me in trouble?
No matter,
Simon said, smiling.
You know what Theory for Theory was really invented for? At least from my grandpa. I've been trained since I was small to tell truth from lies. The funny thing is, I'm not sure if it makes me better at telling them. Ironic, right? Or maybe not.
The door closed and I breathed out. Shit. I was worked up, but like a command, I still lay back down to try to sleep. The voices were united. Relax, they said. Give up, they said in unison. The moon was larger now. I strained to see if there were any crows crossing its path, but every time I looked, Baba and the red umbrella came closer and made me nervous. Finally, she drew a blade from the umbrella's handle, pointing it at my neck. Just the slightest move. Just a little too much impulse, I think she said. But perhaps she meant my pulse, as I could feel my heart beating through my veins, the little bats coursing through them. I looked down. I could see the streets of Woonsocket and Boston and Providence, and even Paris now. They were all spread out in my veins and down my legs, little bats flocking from all around the world, the sound suddenly sharp, a shrill buzzing. Forgive, the one holding the blade said. Forgive or I will move. First one crow sounded, then two, then the cacophony. I did not move, but I did look up at the moon somehow. It encompassed almost the entire sky, shivering like a reflection in water. I tried to see the color but could not. I will when it is time, no sooner, I said. Do not threaten me with grace. When I woke this time, the rain had ceased, but there was a rumbling that sounded like thunder. Then I could hear it was helicopter blades landing not far off. I could hear no voices, but something menacing was coming through as the doors and gates opened and closed. Finally, I heard Simon's voice from the other side of the door.
After you. It's an honor, by the way.